Welcome to my very first podcast. This is my first episode of my knitting adventures or knitting projects. My name is Linda. I live in Sydney with my boyfriend and I knit a lot. I started when I was quite young. My grandma taught me just a few stitches, and my auntie had these really like kid-safe chunky plastic needles that I would like knit with. They were I think they were like 7mm, so they were pretty chunky and thick, and all I could make at that time was scarves. So I'd make these really bad blue feathery scarves that I'd wear to school. They would have all these holes in it, but I'd wear it pretty proudly. That's where it started. I moved on to knitting socks and hats, especially like for kids. I would gift them a lot, and especially like Santa hats. I really liked making those. And then I kind of would stop for a bit, and then I'd come back on, and then I'd stop. I came back on knitting end of last year, and I haven't stopped since. I did start earlier in the year, and I think I made some really bad colourwork socks that I've since frogged. I've been knitting ever since now. And I've progressed way more than just socks and hats now, so I make sweaters, which is pretty cool. It's kind of going to move me on to this piece that I'm wearing. I'm going to bring my phone here so I can read the name. This is the Fuyhi sweater by Noriko Ichikawa. It's a beautiful colourwork piece, giant, oversized, baggy. This is size 2, so it's pretty generous on me. I really could have gotten away with the size 1. I don't know why I chose size 2 instead. I think I started making a size 1 and then was like, why not? So it's unspun wool by Istex. It's the plotulopi. Comes in plates. Did I bring any? Oh, I didn't. One sec. It comes in these little round cakes. They're actually not too big, but there's a lot in here. So this is 300 meters. And I held this double. This is a shade that I did use. This is the heathered yellow shade. It's this absolutely gorgeous, like warm mustard yellow with flecks of red in it, like burgundy red. It's really, really stunning. And I used white and ash heather. And this is my first proper colourwork piece. So I did say I dabbled in sock work, and that was really bad because my tension was all off. And even in knitting this, my tension was all off. So I had wanted a tighter collar than what was specified. So this is a 4.5mm collar. And then I kind of mixed needles for the rest. It was like between 5.5, I think, and 6 maybe. And in just some areas, like especially where the zigzags were, my tension was so bad. It pluckered pretty bad, and it's still a bit pluckery, and maybe if I ever were to block it again, I'd try to block that out a bit more. But blocking it really just changed everything. Like I think it fits so well now. The colourwork stands out. It's very even for the most part. And I love it so much. I could just be in this all day. I had these German short rows at the back as well, and at first it was all raised and puffy, and it looked kind of awful because the fabric of plotulopi is quite stiff. So until I blocked it, it really changed everything. It's softer too. Those German short rows at the back, it's smooth out, so it's really nice, like raised look. Not raised look. It looks quite even now. You can't tell where I did the German short rows. The fabric itself is so lovely. I don't find this itchy at all, and I know a lot of people do find this really itchy because it is quite unprocessed and natural. But I really like it. I can wear this next to skin, and I know other people don't like that at all. But I don't find this itchy. I find this really soft, and I don't know if it's because I blocked it with a little bit of softener, but it's so nice. And I have purchased some more plotulopi to make some more garments with this wool in the future. But yeah, I love the colour work. It's just so fun and bright, and what I'd been making prior to that was like quite basic, or not basic, but just the colour palettes were very simple, because you know, this is colour work, so it does stand out, but I love it so much. So I knitted a size 2, and towards the end I was like, this is a giant sweater, maybe it could fit my boyfriend, as opposed to, you know, I could fit this too, but maybe we could share this sweater. So I got him to try it on, but it fits. It's just very, it catches in some areas, especially around the chest, and I don't know if that's just a different fit for guys, like whether they require a bit more like length at the front for some reason, you know, I don't know. It looked funny. I mean, he could wear it, and we could share this sweater essentially, but I don't know. The size was pretty good on him, so maybe one day I'll make him a sweater similar to this, and we can share it properly. Anyway, that's that. Yeah, I think that's all I want to say about Fuyhi. I did also finish up the Anker tee. This is by Petiteknit. This was meant to be for my mum. I think a size 2 once again. But I at the time, I had finished it but hadn't finished the ribbing on the sleeves, and I hadn't binded off yet. So, I mean, I could have finished it. And now it's winter, so I mean, I may as well wait till summer again to give it to her. But yeah, I knitted this with We Are Knitters cotton, pima cotton? Yeah, pima cotton, and in salmon, I think. And it was nice. I never knitted with cotton before. I kind of love and hate it. The fact that you have to tie all your balls together, I don't really like tying knots. And the garment itself is like dense, I would describe. I don't know. It's a thicker cotton, probably like at an Aran or DK weight. But yeah, it's fine. I think I also hated it because it was very strandy. Like, if you look at the fibre, there's like 10 strands of, I don't know if you can see it, it's like 10 strands of like it. Oh, I don't know if that shows up, but it's it can fray like that, and so each individual strand can get caught amongst your knitting, and that was kind of annoying. So it kind of made the overall look a little bit uneven at some points, but I don't think it's obvious. So if I hold it up, you can't really see it. But there are areas in which I was like knitting and I'd accidentally catch a strand and realize that it's just trapped. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's all done. Hopefully my mum will like it, and if she doesn't, it'll be mine. And I'm gonna move on to some knits that I finished up this month but gifted, so I no longer have them with me. First one is the Olive Cardigan by Pernille Larsen. It's published in Knitting for Olive, so I think it's just part of their collection. And that one was made in Bendigo Luxury 4-ply plus drops kid silk, mohair and light beige, held double. I love that pattern so much. I'm going to be making one for myself. It was stunning. It was beautiful lace work, and it looked really complicated, and I mean at first it was, but once you were familiar with the chart, it just got really easy and you could just do it without looking, which is something that I do a lot, and it's bad because I often have to unravel because I've made a mistake. Anyway, yeah, it was really, really nice. That was made for my boyfriend's mum. And what changes I'd make in the future to that pattern, I probably wouldn't pick a yarn so dense. I find that Bendigo's yarn is feels a bit thicker than what a normal 4-ply would be to me, I think. And so, I don't know, I think I'd maybe pick a different fibre. And I think I would also try to incorporate a button band of some sort. So there were no button holes or button bands in the pattern. It's meant to be just an open cardigan, but I would like to incorporate buttons, and I think in the future I would have to kind of adjust that to the pattern to be able to have some buttons in there. The other option was you can like sew an extra button band on top of the knitted garment, but I kind of think that would be a bit messy, and maybe just add a bit more to the circumference. So you'd have to really then figure out what size you might want. I don't know, I feel like that might just be a bit too much. But yeah, that was really stunning. Hopefully I'll attach some pictures so that you can see what that looks like. I also made some bear beanies. I'll hopefully attach some pictures again. These are for my friend's kids, and both made in petite wool by We the Knitters. We are knitters. Oh my god. Okay. It's just some leftover yarn that I've had, and I've been meaning to get through a lot of my chunky yarn, because that's kind of what got me back into knitting chunky yarn. So hopefully that will, yeah, that stash will go down. But yeah, that was really fun to knit. I love making like hats for babies. I don't know why, it's really cute to me. I think I added a seed stitch ear for one, and the other one's just garter. The seed stitch is really cool though, it just adds a nice texture to just plain stockinette. So yeah, those are all the projects that I've finished over the month. I have some whips that I've, as part of test knits that I've been doing. We can start with this cardigan. This is the Traveler's Cardigan by Ozetta. So I have a full body, it's a bit wrinkly, full body and half of a sleeve. This is Woolen Gang's Feeling Good yarn, mixed in with some Woolen Works mohair in fairy bread. That fabric it makes is really gorgeous. I don't know if it shows up very well, but you can see kind of specks of pink and blue and orange, and it's just a really fun project, to be honest. I mostly knit with plain colours, like mostly browns and reds, and I kind of just, I don't know, I've just been wanting to add a bit more colour into my work, so that's kind of cool. The effects it makes is quite subtle, but it's quite cute. My only issue with this piece at the moment is that I'm about to run out of yarn. I have one ball left, and I've got one entire sleeve and a half, and I know it took more than half a skein to make this length here. So what I think I have to do is rip back and decrease. So originally this pattern has just really nice oversized sleeves, and I think it decreases down to a cuff, but I think I'm gonna have to rip back and try to bring down the size of the sleeve, sadly, because I feel like I've been losing yarn chicken lately, and I don't know, it's a bit annoying. I thought I had enough yarn, but I clearly don't. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah. My next pattern is this rib tee. Oh, which way is it? This way. By Clarissa from clknits. It's this really cute broken rib stitch tee, and it will cinch because I've decided to do the waist modification, so it's going to hopefully cinch down and be a bit more figure hugging. It was a complicated construction to me. I think I don't know. I think it's just because I was trying to wrap my head around how it worked with the decreases and the increases, and I'm getting there. It's alright. it is quite fun though, and I love the fit already. I think I've taken some pictures, so maybe I'll insert them, but the fit is really like nice, and this pop of colour is also what motivates me. Yeah, like I've been saying, colour is something I want to add more into my knits, and it's this beautiful like bright pink. So this is Filcolana's arwetta in strawberry something, I forgot the name, strawberry pink maybe. It's really pretty. It's this like almost, it's not speckly, but it's not a solid pink. It's got a bit of white in it. But yeah, that's those two knits will hopefully be done in the next week. And oh, actually that piece too, I'm also playing yarn chicken because I've only got a bit left, and maybe this is enough, but judging from what the other test knitters have done, they needed another skein, so I've purchased another one in anticipation, but I feel like I'm losing yarn chicken these days, so that's another one. And my other whip that I have on needles, I think, is this one. So this is Sunday Sweater, mohair edition by Petite Knit. It's this really nice, easy rib pearl stitching for the yoke, and then it will be plain stockinette from here on. So it's been on my needles since autumn, and I had intended to finish it for winter, and we're already sort of in the middle of winter, towards the end, in the middle, yeah, I haven't touched it much, to be honest, but from here on it's just plain stockinette because I've already split for sleeves, so hopefully I can bring this along with me to our road trip and get some of it done. I'm not too fussed if it doesn't get done because I'm prioritising other things like the test knits. Also something else I purchased recently were these Barber cords. I don't know if you can see, it's attached to one of the sleeves. It's basically a thin tube of rubber that you can push onto the ends of your needles and thread through. So it's almost like having extra cables, but not really. And I'm not sure how I feel about it. I like them. I think they're handy because I need my cables. They were pretty pricey at like $23 a tin. But I'm not sure how I feel about them. I really just started using them. They have been really handy for when I wanted to try things on without having to attach an extra cable to the cable I've already got. Sorry, I'm just going to take a sip. So yeah, we'll see how I enjoy these. They're great for holding live stitches, so I've got them all over my sleeves, and yeah, it comes in I think 2 sleeve lengths and 1 body length, so 3 cords all up. So yeah, that's something else. I think that's it in terms of projects. I have made some purchases. I'm just looking for it. So I bought this. I think everybody has this by now. This is Sandnes Garne's 2022, I think I want to say spring? Must be spring because, yeah, I don't actually know, and it doesn't say. Does it say? No, it doesn't say. I think it might be spring, but I'm not really sure what the edition is, but it was made this year. It's a beautiful pattern book. This is my first magazine, and there are some patterns I really want to make. Like this really nice mohair piece, and it's, oh, I don't see it now. There was a sort of a vest. Oh, here it is. There was sort of a vest, a garment that, oh, I don't know if I'm showing it right. Vest garment that Anker from Knitting Traditions made, and I love it because I'm not a huge vest person either, and I think it would be amazing on dresses and shirts. So I intend to make some of these, and I've ordered some plotulopi for this particular garment, so hopefully I'll get to make that soon. But yeah, I was really excited to buy this. This was from the Yarn Bowl in Australia. And so alongside this, I made some purchases for Knitting for Olive that they had in their store. Because I'm from Australia, we don't have Knitting for Olive readily available. So I kind of, to make shipping, but not really because I don't think there's a shipping limit, I did make some purchases. I got these 3 colours. So this is Knitting for Olive's Cotton Merino. And it's a beautiful charcoal colour, slate, I believe, yeah. And I intend to make the Colette tee by Witchery Design. I think that pattern calls for DK, and this is fingering, so I don't know if that's going to work out too well, but I do want to make a garment like that. Like kind of a mock rib tee. It's not ribbed, just a mock tee in this really nice fabric. So I've got that. I also have 2 balls each of these guys. So this one is same cotton merino in dark sea green. Really nice dark green. Yeah, almost foresty, but it almost leans, it's got some blue in it, so it's really pretty. I intend to make Knitting for Olive, no, not Knitting for Olive, my favourite things knitwear camisole, either 2 or 4, and it's in one of these patterns, will go towards one of these yarns. I forget which one I decided to go with. This one's the pure silk in powder. So I forgot which pattern I assigned for each yarn, but there's 2 balls of each for the camisoles, and these are all summer projects, so I'm ready to go for summer. I'm keen to move on from our winter. I think that's it. That's all I have to show. I don't know if you've made it all the way through, so I'm looking at the time. It's like 30 minutes. Oh no, just under. Thank you for sticking with me. This is just my first episode, so I'm hoping to make more. I'm hoping to make some different yarn content videos. I don't really know where I want to go with the channel, but I'm just yeah, full of ideas, sort of. We'll see. But thank you for sticking around. Hopefully I'll see you again next time. See ya. Welcome, this is my first episode. My name is Linda. I am gonna make a knitting podcast. This is what this is. Oh, that's so awkward.